Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Ito Farina here on Twitter posting this, guys. Breaking news, if you haven't heard it yet, Binance has suspended the withdrawals of XRP. Get your crypto off the exchanges. Coming from Ito Farina, and this is just a snapshot of the Binance exchange. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are still using Binance at this point, since they've changed CEOs, and CZ is now no longer plays an influential role at Binance. Crypto is changing for good. And guys, they've suspended XRP transactions. So again, a call to action here: get your crypto off the exchange, keep it in cold storage. I personally use the Ledger Nano. I know this morning, in this morning's video, which I will link up here if you guys didn't catch it, Ledger was having some issues, but within hours, they had resolved it. Vitsvin posted an update on that. And so they used, it had to do with one of the nodes. So Ledger is my go-to for cold wallet storage. I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video. If you guys are looking for a cold wallet storage solution, you can use my link if you want. You don't have to use it. There are many other options too. So you guys can use, another cold wallet storage solution, but I implore you, use something. Use some sort of cold wallet storage solution, because you do not want this kind of thing to happen to you. Now, I know this is Binance, but guys, it's been happening to other exchanges. Crypto.com, I believe, had a problem. Somebody, I think it was Merlin Future Invest, on Twitter, was saying that one of his friends was had some XRP on Crypto.com and also had some issues there. So wanted to thank Ito Farina for posting that. With regards to Binance, speaking of Binance, they are also delisting and ending support for their BUSD stablecoin this coming December. So coming up tomorrow, wow, we're almost already in December. Binance to gradually end support for BUSD products. This was their stablecoin, which they were really trying to promote at a point. I remember they even delisted, but stopped using USDC and tried to put all the US stablecoin liquidity through BUSD. I guess it helped the flow of their exchange. Nevertheless, here's what's happening now. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance said it will gradually end support for BUSD, probably because of regulatory concerns. Users have been asked to convert their BUSD into other assets by February next year. In an announcement on Thursday, in the more immediate future, Binance is delisting BUSD as a loanable asset. So this is just part and parcel, guys, to what we are seeing in the crypto space. Again, keep your cryptocurrency safe, cold storage, and because a lot of these, exchanges are now changing, metamorphosizing into, something that we might not recognize in a couple of years. The crypto sector is getting regulated. Binance now has a new CEO, Richard Tang, and apparently he was interviewed recently. This one courtesy of Megan here on Twitter. Listen to this.
If you look at your main shareholders, it's still CZ and his partner. Do you feel like you have the mandate to break from the past and really change Binance?
Binance is the largest crypto exchange globally, right? So we are the first one to put under scrutiny. Now that we have, complied, we have resolved issues with the US, that attention will turn to the other players. I think let me state that at the outset. So that's why I'm stating just before your current question, we are building from a position of strength. Secondly, without CZ's trust and the other leadership's trust, and indeed trust of the thousands of employees that we have, which I hold very dearly, I would not have taken up this role. And this role, given the changing industry, a maturing industry with a direction of travel that's much more regulated, requires us to continue to work with all the important stakeholders that I mentioned, to continue to push ahead and foster, enhance the growth of the industry. So I'm very confident that we'll continue to grow from a position of strength on that front, which is why I take up this role. I use all my experience, my endeavor, to make sure that we succeed for the future.
Will he maintain her current executive role at the firm?
Well, our core team remains intact, and it's very important, right? So we have a strong expertise of core team. But at the same time, we continue to make investments into intellectual human talent, which is very important for our industry, because the industry evolves so quickly, right? Things are evolving, new developments come up by the day, but we continue to enhance our bench strength, continue to invest in our talent pool, continue to invest heavily into our compliance program. And I'm very confident that we'll continue to grow from strength to strength.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same. That's just how I see, the transformation occurring. I don't think, this is going to be a very different reality, guys, for cryptocurrency and the crypto sector. And, like Kevin O'Leary said the other day, the Wild West days are going to be over, and or they are over almost. And so, trading crypto now is going to be very, very different. But the good news, guys, the good news is that institutions are going to be pouring hundreds of millions, billions of dollars into the crypto sector. And so, when we used to see the market move up here, let me bring up the total market cap for cryptocurrency. Let me throw it on the monthly, and let me get rid of some of that. And, just to kind of show you guys how much we did see growth over in terms of percentage from tops of markets past to tops of markets future. 8,400%. Now that was an immature market, 2014 to 2018. And then this time around, we saw the market grow by almost 300%. I have a feeling that, with institutions really kind of pumping wealth into this market, I think it's a no-brainer that we will see, at least a $10 trillion market. And that's actually not even a huge growth from the last top, only at 248%. But, in terms of value, dollar value, that would be 3x, actually over 3x, about 3.33, repeating x over the height of the last bull run. So, in terms of institutional value, once the institutions are on board, I don't doubt for a second that we could go up and above $10 trillion. I think actually $10 trillion is a conservative estimate based on, where the market has gone with pretty much retail interest alone. Anyway, going to keep moving because digital assets are here to stay, and regulation is the cornerstone of this. Interoperability is, what is first and foremost here from the Ripple Impact UBRI Connect 2023 Summit. We have finance professor Sarah Hammer here, executive director at the Wharton School, leading fintech initiatives, talking about cryptocurrency adoption when it comes to interoperability, the technology, and a comprehensive digital asset framework moving forward. Listen to this.
In addition to standard setting, of course, we want to have national regulation. We need to cooperate with international standard setting bodies. And there are very good examples of this. I think one of the examples that we cite is the Financial Action Task Force in the anti-money laundering space, which cooperates internationally, is very deeply involved in standard setting rulemaking and enforcement activities. The purpose of citing that is to say we do have examples in the international community of cooperation and collaboration around important issues like money laundering or financial regulation, where that fits in very well with a framework. So as we all know, digital assets are global, and to have an effective standard setting, rulemaking, and enforcement mechanism, we need to be collaborating with international standard setting bodies, whether it's the FSB or the IMF or the Bank for International Settlements. I'll mention also, and you may have already be aware of this, that both the International Monetary Fund and the BIS are working on interoperability. So I believe the IMF is focused on digital currency, whereas currently the BIS is focused on not only digital currency, but also digital assets more generally, or crypto. And that's part of a larger effort to move forward on interoperability so that the various countries, more than 100, who are experimenting with crypto and digital currency will be able to transact with each other.
So that was a pretty interesting point. The fact that the BIS is actually working on cryptocurrency and digital assets, whereas the IMF's sole focus is pretty much, stable coins and currencies, cryptos related to currencies. So thought that was very interesting. Wanted to thank Subjective Views just for pointing us in that direction. Guys, we also got this. Now, this has been floating around the XRP community over the last day. How Ripple operates through 500 plus regulated entities. There was apparently a presentation in Australia where it is now confirmed that Ripple has over 500 partners and growing. And so they list just some of them here. Some of the more notable ones: Bank of America, CIMB, which I was talking about in this morning's video, FlashFX, D-Money, CrossPay, IndusInd Bank, Kotak, Lemonway, Lulu Exchange, Novati, MFS Africa, which is now on Afrique, SABB, a big one, Siam Commercial Bank, Tranglo. So a huge amount of new partnerships. Travelex, which we talked about a little yesterday in Brazil. And 500 plus, guys, this is just a snapshot of the Ripple partners that exist. But listen to this.
See a lot of names here for the types of organizations that Ripple has partnered with so far that are regulated financial institutions. I've explained how we've started to grow, and I'll call out a few in relevant to our region. HeyHa Money Transfer, our remittance business in Australia, and they can reach all over the world through regulated payout partners like MFS Africa, who cover the whole continent and pay out locally in local currency. We have banks that we work with, like Travelex Bank in Brazil and Indusend in India. So again, the whole spectrum of money movers are connected to the Ripple network today.
Big movers are connected to the money network for Ripple. We also got this from ISO 20022. Let's do it. Ripple's system with XRP can be implemented and up and running within 2 to 3 months. But, this gentleman here says that he has actually integrated RippleNet backend solutions to banks as quickly as 3 weeks. Listen to this.
How long is the implementation process to get started with Ripple?
Yeah, so typically we look at about a 2 to 3 month basis from start to finish. A lot of that is part of the onboarding process. So we go through a credit review process. We then have an onboarding process. That's relatively straightforward. In terms of the technical integration side, it can take between, I'd say, probably 1 to 2 months. That includes things like testing, integrating into the system, and just general process. I think the fastest one I've ever done was probably a 3-week implementation, which was very fast. And probably the slower ones hit that sort of 3-month mark, but it's as fast as you can put resources into making it happen, and we're here to support that.
So banks can realistically integrate to RippleNet as quickly as 3 weeks. I guess it just depends on how much of the pre-work you've done, or the preparation a lot of these banks have done, a lot of these financial institutions have done before the tech guys come in. So we're seeing this, and we're getting new information about RippleNet and the integration into banks, getting some more of the facts and factors involved. I feel like we haven't really had kind of any real updated information from an official source other than the official. When they give us those official announcements at Swell or whatever, it says, oh, we're partnered with these guys and this is a great partnership for these reasons. And, that's all fine and good. It's nice to hear from the people actually on the ground, though, doing the work. I mean, I love hearing this kind of thing because it really does get me excited about the utility for XRP moving down the road. Anyway, wanted to thank ISO 20022 for posting that. And on top of it all, we are seeing new updates on the XRP ledger, this one coming from xrpl.to. Big updates coming to Rippled version 2.0. So now hitting up to 4,300 transactions per second in a lab environment. They're welcoming sidechains with the new XLS 38 amendment, and they're stepping into the future with the XLS 40 decentralized identity amendment. So just some more information here, guys. 4,300 transactions per second. That is huge. I mean, a big step forward from back in 2015 when I believe it was under 100 at that particular time. So great news there. Of course, we need to be able to move all kinds of different currencies. And, the other day I was actually talking about this. And so one of my viewers here, Darren on Twitter, tagged me in this. Our report on the digital Canadian dollar is now available. So in the summer, there was a CBDC survey for the Canadian CBDC. And, a lot of the findings were kind of, it's funny because they want to be, I don't think they want to be too negative when they publish this, obviously, but a digital Canadian dollar, what we heard 2020 to 2023 and what comes next. So they put out a survey, and here's what we heard from the public. We heard a diversity of views from different communities about the digital Canadian dollar. Financial sector stakeholders generally wanted more concrete details. You know what that's a euphemism for? That's a euphemism for, we think you're shady. We don't trust you, so we don't want X, Y, and Z to happen. So what the Bank of Canada is saying is that we want more concrete details about how the digital dollar would work so that they could better understand the potential impacts on their business models. Right. Focus group participants largely accepted the potential need for a digital dollar in the future, but wanted more information on exactly how it would work. So basically, when Canadians were responding to this saying, we do not want to be Great Reset, and we don't trust you. We want to make sure that there's privacy. We want to make sure that, all these things that, I'm sure everybody around the world has concerns about, not just Canadians. The Bank of Canada had to come out and kind of, massage the wording a little bit here to give, a bit of a more positive optics. Civil society groups mainly supported a digital dollar if its design would remove existing barriers to accessibility. Okay. Respondents to the public questionnaire were largely opposed to a digital dollar, and to the Bank of Canada research. I didn't even read that point. They were concerned about the impacts that the digital dollar could have on their rights. So, okay, in the end, they say, finally, the people have spoken. They are skeptical. The Bank of Canada has released the results of their questionnaire. This one courtesy of Matt Horwood here, brought to me by Dawdler for XRP. Respondents had concerns about privacy, government having too much control, access to money being restricted, democracy being harmed, and lots of individual choice. So, a lot of this net negative responses, 86%, guys. Is it a bad idea? I don't like it. Will not use it. 52%. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I will link this in the description if you guys want to check this out. And he has the link here, bankofcanada.ca. This isn't going to stop the fact, though, that the financial system is forging ahead. Whether we use cash, whether we use, the current system we're in, all things are going to be digitized eventually, and we're going to be using cryptocurrency to do so, and we're going to be using digital assets like XRP to do so. And so, back to this discussion here, when discussing the price of XRP with banks, okay, this is a big one, and I'm sure a lot of banks did have some questions about this. ISO 20022, let's do it here, posting this. Another great clip here from this presentation in Australia. Listen to this.
As a customer, is there any exposure to fluctuations in the price of the cryptocurrency?
Yes, great question. No. As a business that's been in this industry for a long time, we know that the senders and receivers are very focused on fiat. That's their lifeline, that's their blood, that's their entire business. So we hide any real visibility into the cryptocurrency XRP. So in the system, you'll really just see a fiat to fiat payment option. Because of that, we hide and protect our customers from any fluctuation in the open market. It's irrelevant to you how much XRP equals how much Singapore dollars, for example. All you want to know is that you can make your $1 million payment into Vietnam, for example. So the customer is never exposed to any fluctuation in price of the digital asset here.
So that is interesting. I mean, we've known it that XRP is so fast that you're not going to be exposed to the fluctuation in price. XRP is going to be used in the back end. However, we also know David Schwartz has said it does have to command a high enough price. I mean, there's been this theory that XRP and XLM are going to be stable coins as outlined by the World Bank. Stable in a way that, when we don't see market fluctuations fluctuate too much, it might go up a few points here or there, but ultimately the wild fluctuations, that is not going to happen. So that is one theory. But guys, even if we do see wild fluctuations in this market, we're seeing this. Banks are concerned about the wild fluctuations in XRP price. But of course, because the system is so robust and because they're only using XRP in the back end, the exposure to volatility is going to be minimal, if anything. But there it is, though. We need XRP to move all the money, and we're seeing the rails being laid. As we speak, we're seeing more utility in the market. Central bank digital currencies being criticized, of course, but it's all moving that way, guys. I'm just happy I'm an XRP holder at this point in time. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.